Okay, so we got a good one today. I like this is a trope I dislike, but doing research I found some really good examples on the done well side, but not for the reasons you might think. But yep, it's another episode of the plot key. We're chasing the glowing orb, the mysterious briefcase, the cosmic cube, all of these things. Like again, it's not important itself, the item. A lot of the times, all too often, it's irrelevant to the theme. It could be swapped out with any kind of thing, and that's kind of like where it falls down for me. But starting with a bad example, Pulp Fiction, the briefcase. The film itself, Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino, classic, great film. But we never find out what's in the briefcase. So it's one of those things where you could swap that out for any other object, and it doesn't affect the story. There's no tie to the theme. Something else, we go back to another classic. That's a good film, but not for that reason. Star Wars, the Death Star, the plans. Like the plans themselves, they don't really matter. They don't, like, it's not about Luke. It's not tied to his journey at all. It's just like he happens to be, born when he's born, and this is your mission. So do you have any other examples like that have done poorly, like the MacGuffin trope, where the item's not really different to a red herring, but it's still irrelevant to the plot? It's a literal plot device.
You said the MacGuffin?
Yep. I think it was Alfred Hitchcock that coined the term. It's like searching for...
But do you want me to go?
Yeah, if you've got any done poorly, we'll start with done poorly.
Okay, so done poorly plot devices that have no meaning. Is that about right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to blow up some of these movies, man. You know what I mean? It's like that. Because I agree with you. It's like that was worthless.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, did it need to be there? Did it help the story? It could have been anything. I hate those kind of ones.
Exactly. And so when people fixate over a specific thing, like a scroll, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, what's in the scroll? And you break in the scroll is actually just nothing.
Yeah.
The journey was the scroll.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, wait, what?
You were the scroll all along.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The scroll's on my back. Oh, it's lighting up on a tattoo. So I think I would say the worst case of it, I would say, Tomb Raider. I think I'm a fan of the Tomb Raider series. Let me be clear of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it spins off of the what am I trying to say? Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Right? You're always looking for that adventurer. And this one's a powerful female adventurer. So I don't want to diss that not whatsoever, but literally everything that she's searching for is like
it's just
it's really not
this, and
it has something to do with her family, actually. It's like, hold on, you were destined to be here from day one because your father was here. What? Yeah. Things like that. Again, these compelling stories, if you're chasing, treasure, right? I like when treasure actually is just a piece of the puzzle that needs to be, placed back where it was originally taken from. I like those plot devices, and I think that's what it transformed into. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, like, still, the gimmicks are like, eh.
Yeah, it's a bit tiring, is it? Abby, what do you think?
To be honest, I can't really think of anything. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is, it's probably more a good example than a bad example, but I'm thinking of the Infinity Stones.
Oh, no, that's a bad one. Yeah.
Because although each Infinity Stone had their own, thing, you don't really go much into them. I think the only stone they really go into is the Time Stone, which obviously is to do with Doctor Strange. Yeah. But apart from that, they were just pieces of the puzzle that you collected to then do the click. That was kind of it.
They don't matter until that moment.
Right at the end.
Yeah, almost like no one knew what they were, but there were other things I think, like you said, with Doctor Strange, he had one in his necklace or something like that. Didn't know it was there all along, and it's not satisfying when it comes through that way, because it's like, is there a better way to move the story forward? But then again, on the other side of it, like for the good examples, look at Harry Potter and the Horcruxes. Like, they were, the purpose of those still a MacGuffin, but he had to learn about Voldemort's past. So he was still learning something along the way. It wasn't like there couldn't have been anything else in that universe, is what I'm saying. So like, for me, that's the one that really stood out as a strong example. I've got another obvious one for you. I'll just get this one out of the way. The One Ring, Lord of the Rings. It's the anti.
That was going to be my other one.
It's the anti version. We're flipping it on its head. They subvert the trope. He has to destroy it. He's looking for it, but not for the reasons. He doesn't want this. His whole mission is he has to become this person. He's being tested, challenged, and he has to destroy the ring. He's not like, oh, I want it to become like all powerful or that kind of thing. And he kind of like flipped that on its head. And that's quite an old story as well. So they were subverting the trope early on, which is something that's quite interesting.
So the gold medallion in Pirates of the Caribbean, then.
You like that?
Well, I think it's just a really strong example. Mm. So maybe it's, to me, good or bad. For me, it's hard for me to say whether the object was bad or whether the movie was bad that used it, right?
Yeah,
I don't know how to differentiate that, but I think it was well done in Pirates, and it was literally worthless.
Yeah.
Like, no one wanted to touch those gold pieces, and that's what jogged my memory. It's like, no, I like those stories that give you consequences if you touch things that don't belong to you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, now you spend centuries trying to right the wrong of your ancestor type stuff. That kind of thing is, to me, way more powerful.
Yeah, and you've touched on, again, from Pirates of the Caribbean, like Davy Jones' locker as well. Like, a lot of people wanted it, but it came with a lot of problems. So it's like, it wasn't just moving the plot forward. Davy Jones, he was existing with this as a curse. So it's kind of like, it didn't just pop up. It gives you the impression there's more story that was happening off screen before, and you're kind of just thrown into it when like Jack Sparrow turns up and does his thing at that point. But it gives you the impression there's a world there beyond that. And another example is kind of like when it's a person. This happens a lot in James Bond, where he'll need to find a scientist, and sometimes it'll be like, Denise Richards or something like that. I'm not complaining, but again, it's like another change where they become a dynamic piece rather than just an object to find. They usually have some useful information, and again, when it's a person, it's a character as well, and we love characters here. So those are the good examples. I'm trying to think of another one for good. Like, it's a lot easier, I think, to find good examples because of what you said, Emma Remy, where you don't know if the film was bad or that was done well. And it's kind of back to what I was saying about Pulp Fiction. It's a good film, but that particular thing did nothing for the story. It didn't need to be there. It would have been the same film without it. So that's kind of like what I'm getting at with this trope as well. So there's a few of them, like Mission Impossible 3, The Rabbit's Foot. We just know it's really dangerous.
Hey, I'm Googling them, but I don't know. Like, I haven't watched the films. Like,
but think about it.
Necklace to Titanic. I mean, I haven't seen Titanic.
But it's something where they're chasing it for their motivation. Like, their whole existence is about finding this object, insert object. Sometimes it's Crystal Skull, Indiana Jones. I really
want to, controversially, what is it called? I can think of the character, but I can't think of the anime right now.
Oh.
Wait, why you think of that?
True.
Okay.
The Elixir of Life. Is that not the biggest MacGuffin ever?
Everyone wants it. Yeah.
And no one's found it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Fountain of Youth, that kind of thing, where it's like the villains normally that's their whole motivation, and it kind of takes away because it's like, okay, this exists just for this purpose. There's no... It's not tied to the theme at all. It's just insert magical item. What were you?
Philosopher's Stone or...
Okay, I'm gonna try and do. Is that bad or good? Where would you put that one then? The use of the trope. Let's do that then. The Philosopher's Stone.
I mean, it's good because it drives the point, right? It gives a purpose, but at the same time, it's bad if the item is irrelevant. Yeah.
Okay, so to compare it to another item as well, I can't remember the name of the note. You got one.
Wait. Well, no, I just want to, what you just said, specifically keeping the Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You got to talk about how she compounded on that moment, though, right? She had a villain that needed the elixir for life, right? That's the thing. But also, she brought in a unicorn. And she's like, yo, drinking this unicorn's blood will keep you alive just a little bit longer. That made it dark.
You know what?
You know what I mean? I think when you tie things into your world, it can be done well. And I think she did do that well. So she brought the idea of the elixir of life into her world, right? And I think when you do it in the way where now she attached something, consequences, that set the tone for what Voldemort's trying to do all the way through. Really, he's still trying to do the same thing. I'm trying to come back to life, and I'm grasping at every straw in mythology to try to get back. So, and even all the way back to the Horcruxes. You see what I'm saying? He had that, and he's like, whoa. Do I need a body first before I start collecting those? Or was that the first? Was that the first domino, that released the first part? I don't know.
Yeah, and it affects the whole, like, those events are affecting the whole world. Like, it's not just, local to him and what was going on. But again, with, I can't remember what that book was called. I think it was Chamber of Secrets, where he finds the book, and it's got, like, Tom Riddle's journal. And there's, like, all the information in there about his history. So he's learning about the villain he's eventually got to face. So it's like, you're looking for this thing, and it's an item, but I think in that form as well, it's really compelling to see that unfold, because you're like, okay, how does this fit into it? And because we don't know there's going to be all these different ones. We find out about the Philosopher's Stone early on. We're expecting, because it's wizards and magic, that there could be more items, but like the path it follows, we don't know they're all going to be tied to this one character for the confrontation at the end. So that's always quite interesting. And as you were saying, Abby, there's quite a few in anime. I'm gonna have to think about that myself. But what example are you gonna bring up?
I'm thinking of One Piece.
Oh my gosh!
I'm thinking of the fruit he has to collect. He's been collecting them for so long.
But come on, like, do you think that's bad? Like,
I get it. Like, he's got to get them all, but like.
The problem,
it feels like Pokemon at this point. Catch them all. Like, come on. Are we going to use these for something yet?
They did kind of take that, but what I will say about that is with One Piece, the MacGuffin, the issue is One Piece. We still don't know after decades what that actually is. It's never been said. We don't know what the One Piece is. The fruit, I don't have a problem with the fruit, but, I'm biased because I'm a One Piece fan. But... And again, with the fruit, there's consequences. They can't swim anymore. They can't go in the sea. So it's not like, do you want this? It comes with a curse. You can be powerful, but, you're not going to be able to be in water ever again. Do you not think that's interesting,
just
Abby?
It all. It is. But I don't know. I think things need a wrap up. Things need a conclusion, in my opinion.
Facts.
I just got bored of it.
Yeah.
I think we got like 3 seasons in, and we were like, God.
Oh wait, you're done with One Piece?
Yeah. Done. Come on. Like, we're 3 seasons in. I get it, you got to collect them all, but like, there's just so much filler.
Listen to this
well.
though. Apparently they're
still going.
Apparently there's a third left of the story. Over 1,000 episodes. It started in 99.
You must be joking.
It started in 99.
Hear me out on this.
Okay.
Look, I agree there should be a cutoff. And at those cutoffs, if there's a resurgence, it shouldn't be a regurgitation. It should absolutely be something. In my mind, you use time. These characters need to get older. They need to pass off knowledge, create something different, man.
Yeah.
Like, what Rugrats did, man. They were like, these kids are supposed to get older, man. Let's give them something. Why haven't we seen a Rugrats where they're all adults now and they got their own damn kids? You see what I'm saying? Like, that would be a hit for our generation with kids. Think about it.
It's a good point, because we've grown up with these characters, and then it's like, okay, you're seeing them go into the next phase of their life. And I think on the anime point, Naruto did that, where they moved on, they left that behind, because there were still really popular characters at the time when Naruto ended. They could have just carried on, just added some filler, but they said, no, let's bring a new story in, new characters, a new generation. I agree with that as well. We do need a cut-off point, because that's how you end up with the Pokemons, where it's like thousands of episodes, none of them really, you can't place them in a timeline. There's no importance to the sequencing of when you watch them, really. You can skip like hundreds of episodes.
And I wanted to, we keep talking about, an object or maybe even an event, but, I'm looking at it, a goal struck me as a really straight motivator that we overlook. And Dragon Ball Z is the perfect example in my mind. Goku, Kakarot, however you want to call him, his number one goal is to exceed his limits.
So that's what he's chasing.
He's chasing this ultimate goal of just always trying to get stronger and battle-wise smarter.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Always. Because in his mind, he always wants to I don't think he always wants to be, but he knows that being a champion for what he believes in, this is the cost.
Yeah, and he's black.
There's always going to be.
Why do you think he's so popular though? Because he's like, I know he's got like a really simple, like you said, the motivation is quite simple. But why do you think? He's likable. Yeah, why do you think that connected? Is it
his motivations are pure. The Red Army, that was timely. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that was early Dragon Ball Z as well. Before we got to all the
Dragon Ball.
Yeah, before we got to all the other stuff. Yeah, that's a good point. Because he's still like, isn't he like the most popular protagonist in anime still?
Likely.
Like Abby, you know Goku, right?
I know of him. Haven't watched Dragon Ball though.
You've probably seen it.
You continue to surprise me, Abby.
I continue to ruin all of your expectations of me by watching nothing.
exceeding my expectations by just being yourself, man. And I'm like, yo, you're cool as hell. But one more,
absolutely niche.
One more thing in the MacGuffin plot device equation is it unimportant or irrelevant that this is Goku's goal? And that's what I asked myself, and I think I don't know. It's a hard answer.
It is tough because you're like there's loads of it sets up a lot of these tournaments where he's meeting people with similar kinds of things and they're just not quite there on his level yet. And then he gets to the new level and then you get the power creep coming in where he beats this guy, then you're like blowing up planets, and then it gets to a scale where it's like, how do you even follow this? How strong is he going to get? That's my only problem.
That's it. I've not seen it, but I feel like
it's crazy.
Like, surely that's a goal that's unachievable because there's always ways that you can improve. There's always ways that you can learn.
And this is
your
why
overall goal is unachievable. Therefore, it's a goal that will generate content forever and ever and ever because every day is our school day. Every day you learn something. Every day is different. So
nailed it.
Yep. Any problems with that?
That goal is forever generating new things.
And Abby, you know how they accomplished that in Dragon Ball Z's world? Goku had to die. And he had to be wished back to Earth, and then he died again. And that's in that course, his soul had to get stronger.
Yeah,
off planet, off world, and you know what I mean. And that's a whole new cycle. He had to revert back to a child and grow back older again. And so now you got this old man in a kid's body that had to grow up again. Like you're getting a do-over. How many times, dude? How many times have they killed him off?
More than 5.
But that's my point. It's like it's unachievable. He just proved that. He died very early on.
We just skipped over it. One that's crazy as well. The Dragon Balls themselves. These things that you find them, combine them.
I think they matter though. They've helped them through everything, literally.
Yeah, and to be fair, there's more. It's not like it's just one thing. Like someone might be holding one for decades and then they didn't know where it was. But they're all, you know what? You're right. That's not a bad one because that's not always central. That's something they're doing as well as fighting in the tournaments. You got Goku fighting in heaven with a halo and all sorts of things going on. Abby, you should check it out.
It's mental. God, I bet you've got like 12 seasons or something mental, isn't it?
It's still going. Yeah. I'll say that.
Oh, what?
And I'll say,
and you can't watch the new stuff without knowing anything about.
And they recently
that
released
just would be bad.
A new season where they're kids again. They want to get
I would never watch that.
They want to get a new generation into it, so they sent them back to being children.
How many times is he going to be a child before we go, look, I think we just need a brand new child. We
don't
need him
needs children. Pan needs grandchildren.
That's
how that should work.
The author passed away. I think it was last year, wasn't it?
Who?
The author.
The author. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I was going to say, but the I guess the Saiyan bloodline dwindles, and they don't want that to happen. And Vegeta's made a very clear distinction between who's real Saiyan and who ain't.
Yeah.
And Gohan is always there to be like, keep talking shit. Okay?
Gohan was my favorite character.
Test you every time.
Abby, you got to see this.
He said, half Saiyan or not, I'm going to beat your ass.
Family, I think would be generally an interesting concept, though, because in structures like that, it's always power. And although he is really powerful, because he would be learning in a different way, he'd be learning people skills, learning how to be a parent, learning how to be a grandparent, and like
he's not interested in any of that.
Nope.
It's a whole different spectrum of learning. Like you've got the potential with that concept on its own of all of the different avenues of learning. That's just power.
But Abby, what if I want to win the tournament?
You've already won the tournament, babe. Over it. Next. You're trying to teach your son to win the tournament. That's new learning. You're learning to be a teacher. You're learning to be a parent. You're learning to
okay, but Abby,
be a trainer.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, so we've got another tournament, but this time, we've got contestants from different universes. So we got people coming.
Oh, then you're the strongest, so you're going to have to fight.
I'm representing the whole universe at this point.
You're not even the leader though, because they recognize this guy is not leader material. Goku has never been leadership material.
But they still follow him.
He's your best player. You gotta follow the best player.
You know what?
You want to be on his team,
right?
That's the team you want to be on. You can work around him. You know what I'm saying? You don't even necessarily lead him.
Yeah.
But you know that if you're wherever his son is or whatever, this dude's gonna show up in the nick of time. That's a fair point. Care about.
Your strongest player isn't necessarily your captain.
True. Agreed. True. It shouldn't be.
And you're strong in your own right in a team. You have your own strengths, which then balance together nicely to make you a strong team.
But this is why we need the universal tournament, where you got people coming from.
Oh, right. So then all the universal leaders can determine that they are the losers, because you're obviously the strongest.
Look at the scale we're dealing with, Abby. Is that not fire to you?
Here's what I loved about that, too, because they had to be very unbiased. They had to recruit the strongest, no matter where the line was drawn. You know what I'm saying? So they were like, yo, this guy's evil as hell, but he can throw hands.
Yeah.
Gotta invite Frieza. And they're like, Frieza sucks.
An irrelevant object.
Well, yeah.
Just because they're from another planet, that planet is irrelevant.
Yeah,
they are relevant.
The planet itself is a MacGuffin.
Technically, it's a MacGuffin in that situation. Yeah, where you're from, irrelevant. Are you stronger than me? That's what's relevant.
Facts.
And this is
the goal.
And that's why you brought up, by bringing up Goku, you brought up a good point, because his is more like he's chasing the thrill, just fighting. That's his main thing. Eats a lot of food and fights. Those two, very simple character, kind of like Luffy. Kind of like Luffy in that sense. So One Piece again, they're very similar in that way with the main character, where he's not a strong leader, but he's there for his friends and his teammates. So they rally around him. He's got the ability to befriend like other creatures and animals and all that kind of stuff. So people they're warm to him. Okay, but so for my next question, I'm going to ask you: does it have to be relevant for you to enjoy it, or as soon as you see something that you know, like, oh, okay, this is going to be something, does that take you out of the book, the film? Like, how are you looking at that? Does it need to matter, the MacGuffin, to you?
Not for me. Whether it drives the plot or not, whether it's relevant or not, I'm not. A lot of the time in stories, I'm not in it for what they're doing. I'm in it for them.
Okay.
So
that's a good take.
And I'm in it for the plot. Like, if it affects the plot, then I care. If it doesn't affect the plot, don't care. Like, that's kind of how I feel about it. If it doesn't affect that person, doesn't affect the plot, it is what it is.
But
okay, you need to get that thing, whatever.
But Abby, if it's completely irrelevant, do you feel a bit like, if the story's still good, I get what you're saying, like, you're there for the plot, but do you ever just roll your eyes like, come on,
Yeah, it'd drop my rating for sure. If I was reading it, you'd lose half a star for that, guys. That's dangerous territory.
Put that out there.
It's not 5-star behavior.
To the authors out there.
That's time waster.
Yeah, perfect way of describing it. Do you feel like you're wasting time? Because it's almost like a lot of people will get this confused with a red herring, where the whole point of the red herring is to lead you down a path, and then it's just a clue that doesn't go anywhere really. It's to kind of like distract the reader. Whereas the MacGuffin, it's like you're meant to be focused on this thing that everyone's chasing and fighting for. So, Emma Remy, how do you look at that? Do you see something like that, and does it take you out of the book or the film, or are you able to compartmentalize and separate the MacGuffin from the plot?
I think I am able to I know I can separate now, what plot devices were used, but like Abby, that's not what as soon as I see something, I'm just like, for me, I have to sit with it. It might be years, or more movies, the rest of the story comes out and, I see how it unfolds and then I can go back and say whether it was used well or not. And, I want to bring up an example, like, for example, the Creed series. And so that's a spinoff of the Rocky series, the Rocky Balboa series. And it takes Apollo Creed's son and his, goal. Yeah. I think his MacGuffin is right. He's trying to, basically right or wrong, if you will. Like his father's legacy was, in some ways tarnished or cut short. Mm-hmm. And so that was his goal. He was just like, no, I got hands too. And I think I'm ready for this. And so he just knew that he needed the right training. And so that was his goal. He said, I got to be the best in the world. Yeah. And so the difference between him and Goku, right? It's like he says, hey, I just want to see if I can do it, but also I know I can do it and I need to show the world I can do it. Yeah. And so when he got there, when you finish the story, it's like, no, what is the first thing he did? Opened a gym, started training other people, made an environment that made it safe for anyone to come, things that you hope, athletes do and just continue to pay it forward. His life expanded past that. Yeah. And I think that but also he was human. So he got older. He's like, I don't want to fight forever. Like I did my thing. I got the title, got the belt, cool. Now I'm just trying to, respect. And, don't put any disrespect on my name. And he had to overcome these obstacles, but he cut it off. It's a cutoff. It's not season after season after season after season.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
That on Netflix,
that was going to be my next question.
I wouldn't watch it, even if it was Michael B. Jordan. Even he'd be like, nah, I'm done. Let somebody else do this. Kill me off next time. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times has that happened? And then you got people who don't let themselves get killed off, man. I'm like, dude, come on. Let it go.
I was gonna say, like, how did you feel when that came back? Like when you heard there was a Creed, like a spin-off? Were you like,
I'm a huge Rocky fan, so I was ecstatic, man. I was just hoping it wouldn't be, poorly done, because there were some things that came out that were poorly done in other universes that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I was disappointed because of what I've read. And so, but yes, I was ecstatic when I heard. Yeah. But I was more ecstatic because of who was coming in for it, and the collaboration between Ryan Coogler and Sylvester Stallone. Yeah. To me, that was a mashup, because think about those two characters, right? Like who, what, and how did they meet? But but when from what I read, think about it. Ryan Coogler had an idea and a story, Sylvester Stallone had his own stories and his own thoughts. And that, I'm sure that I see that showed a lot in the first movie, because that's a good pass off. And so there's a lot of push and pull. And I even like that tension being shown in the movie. But my point is like, hey, this story isn't really mine. Yeah. And I think there was the baton, right? That's what we talked about earlier. Yeah. When is it time to say, hey, I want sign off, but this is you. Mm-hmm. That's hard. I haven't, when I get there, I hope it's easier, but I can only imagine that'd be very hard to do. It's like, no, this is your story, and I'm not going to impede on how that story plays out.
Yeah, I was going to say, some don't want to let go. Like, they almost tarnish what they had by going a little too long, and then it's like you're kind of watering down all the work that was done previously. Like, when
you watch Coming to America?
Yes.
Both of them?
That's not the new one now.
Exactly.
I never will.
I got 6 minutes in, I turned it off.
They waited,
and I love Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I was gonna say they waited too long. It was like, it just seemed like a money grab. Bad Boys as well, same thing. I didn't like Bad Boys. The first
Before
two.
we get to Bad Boys, rumor had it Ryan Coogler was trying to do the Coming to America. Imagine what would have came from that.
Yeah.
Think about the difference it would have been.
He's got the trust where it's like, okay, he's not going to mess around with this. He's going to actually treat it the right way.
I think he's got the pulse on the viewers.
Yeah.
That would want to have seen that sequel come out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so when the sequel did come out, very disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Very disappointing.
But
look at hater. I'm a hater. Sorry, guys. Message out there. I'm a hater through and through.
Oh wow.
Of whom?
Of sequels.
Oh, okay.
If I know there's going to be some sort of spin-off or some sort of sequel, I'm the first guy to go, it's going to be shit though, isn't it? Every time.
That's why you don't like it? Because you immediately assume it will be shit?
I just assume it's going to be rubbish. I'm just like,
I can accept that. So I can accept that. You don't hate sequels. You hate shit sequels. That's the difference.
But
everyone hates a shit sequel.
But to be
get
fair,
your heart wrenched when you see a sequel. You're like, but
you do go in a bit apprehensive. Like, are they going to undo everything I just learned, or like?
I'm the first person to come out and go, that was rubbish. That was rubbish. Forgetting that parts of it were probably actually quite good. So I'm like, no.
I've got to be clear, are you saying sequel? Is it sequel or spin-off that you don't like?
Both.
So how do you continue a story? Like a trilogy? Like you're going to stop at the first book?
That's fine if it's designed to be that way.
How do you know, though?
Oh,
is when you get a good show. Like Netflix is a number one example. You get a good show on Netflix.
Oh gosh.
One season. It's planned and scheduled to be one season. And they tie it in a nice little bow, and then one character goes a little bit viral, and then they go, oh, we'll better make another season. And then it has no relevant connection to the first season, and they fuck it up royal. And you're like, they just loved it.
They're going to order 10 seasons.
Where it was.
They're like, oh, that character's popular. We're going to make 10 movies.
Better make a spin-off just for them.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it wasn't part of the original universe, part of the original story. If you want to make a separate universe for them, at least make it relevant to the original universe in the first place. That's my request, please.
Well,
sometimes you're then like, but what?
Comment to that. You guys are talking about humans. Humans did that. It's all about behind the scenes. It's not look, I can't think of a single platform creator, whatever, just thought, you know what? Just one season. That's all I want. Not one. Okay. If it accomplished the task in one season, that's how it was written in their mind. That's it. You see what I'm saying? And that story was done because the character died or whatever. It came to a conclusion completely different. But I don't think anyone is going in saying just one season. You see what I'm saying? Not ever. Because if you did something well, right, you want to do it better.
Yeah.
That's in every person's mind, every creator's mind. And let me get to the end, the behind the scenes part. The people who have to work together to make it happen, that's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not one person is doing all this, as much as we'd like to think that one person could, because that story is true and pure. But it takes so many people to make that one story come to life in an adaptation. So the adaptation. So here is the challenge. How do you get the main decision makers and different facets to work together for the course of 5 seasons?
Somebody
gets pissed off, somebody leaves, whatever. And that's what happens.
Yeah, I was just getting, it's the mechanics of the business side, corporates.
Business.
You got the people upstairs where they're making the decisions like, oh yeah, really popular.
Heavy shit.
You know what? Business.
Cut it.
Yeah, but Abby, aren't you ready for like K-pop Demon Hunter, the 4 films that are planned? You telling me you're not going to watch those?
No, that's one film. Like that's good enough as one film. Why do we need more? Why?
Because business.
Successful.
That concept was wrapped up so nicely. The conclusion was nice. Songtrack banging, by the way. If you're not listening to the songtrack, it's really good.
But don't you want more?
No. Well, I don't understand everyone's need for more. Why can't we just be grateful with what we have? right? If it's a good story from A to Z, let's just appreciate it for what it is, instead of thinking, right, I need another 4 of them now. You don't go out for dinner, enjoy a nice meal, and then think, oh, right, I need another 4 meals now. No, you don't, because you've just had a really nice dinner and you appreciate it in the moment.
I like that.
Maybe you're thinking about dessert, different, but that's a sweet treat.
True.
Different category.
Well, you just said it right there. Now, you jumped out of sequence, though. I think of one, if you're taking 1-course meal, okay. But if you're going to dinner, do you really expect just the salad? No. You want bread, salad, you want a bit of meat, vegetable, and you definitely want to look at the dessert menu, whether you buy something or not, right? And so think about if each one of those courses was the installment and you had an optional dessert. You see what I'm saying? That's how I think of seasons and sequels. That's how I think of it. It is one dinner. And I'm like, dude, you gave me, it was a great piece of, steak, but there was no vegetables, man. And I'm like, come on, give me some vegetables. I eat some vegetables, Yeah. And so that becomes an unfulfilled meal. That's how I see it. It's when people go home and they heat up a pizza
after
that eating. I get pissed off. It's like, whoa, hold on. I just spent a lot of money on dinner. You came home and popped that thing in the oven or the microwave? Nah, don't do that.
So it's unsatisfying.
You know what I mean? It's very unsatisfying. Well, for me, it's like, hey, that might have satisfied whoever.
On the way home.
Whoever, it satisfied somebody. That person that heated it up, it quenched the thirst, right?
True.
Right? So it's not about me anymore at this point, right? I did my part. I gave the dinner.
Yeah.
And they still went home and did what they did.
Oh, so now we're getting into the conversation of IP and how that's being handled. That's an interesting one. Because again, I think a lot of the way the deals are done is like the original writer, unless they don't usually cut the right deals because they're artists first, they're not thinking about like the business side of things. They're just going in with a dream and they want people to see their art, as many people as possible. So then, you got the corporates that talk them into signing these deals where, maybe we want to option it 10 years. Maybe after you pass away, we want to be able to, use these characters for whatever we want, put them in adverts, Pepsi, McDonald's, like whatever it is, and your estate will be paid. So it's kind of like weighing up that thing. Because again, the creator should be rewarded for the IP, obviously. And if you've got a fan base, because look at George R.R. Martin, for example. He's had people waiting for this book for like almost 2 decades or however long at this point, where it's like, wouldn't you rather you just kind of like handed it off to someone else, competent writer with his guide, with his Bible, and just got the book out there?
Nope.
See, I'm on the other end of the spectrum because it's been so long now. The pressure's too high. Why ever drop it? Keeps you relevant. I wonder if he's ever going to release that book. Oh, he's like, no, you lot don't need to know that. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't.
It's like the detox of books.
About it.
Dr. Dre's detox.
Well, and it gives fans the chance to develop that story how they think it would go. Keeps people talking about it, making new ideas, creating new concepts.
Abby, I hate to tell you this, but George R.R. Martin's like 200 years old at this point.
Dead.
So we might never know how this thing's meant to end.
He was like, nah, I'm not giving you lot that. Out.
Hear me out.
Okay.
I cannot see. If he had to have someone help him, it wouldn't be by choice. That's because there's an impairment or something.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could see a true creator passing off what is unfinished.
He's like an artist as well, isn't he? Like, he doesn't care about...
I have no idea. I have no idea who he is. I'm just saying from a writer's perspective, like that, I need to finish it the way it's in here, or else it's going to be unsettled in here. How that's interpreted, how that changes, that's okay. But at least you have my words the way it came out of my mind on paper, and then you can edit that and get my approval or not. But not before. I have to get my thoughts on paper because you're not going to understand why that's wrong when I tell you no.
True.
No, and no. That's just going to waste a lot of time.
It's a good point, and it brings that out of a writer as well, where it's like, Are they someone who's gonna want to hand it off, or are they gonna cling to this thing where it's like, I don't care, I'm finishing it, I'm doing this, I'm not trusting anyone else with this vision?
It's the same discussion we had with film, that where they're like, oh, kill off that character, move on to the next generation. But
true.
That person is still attached to that character. I am that character, so I don't want to let go of that. That's mine, kind of thing.
Sometimes we've got to let go.
Unfinished business is hard. They literally make movies about ghosts because they have unfinished business. So,
true.
So to that point, that's what it is. It's those who can finish their business before, and those who literally leave life and they have unfinished business. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I think there's whether you scale it high or low in your life, I think everyone leaves this earth with some unfinished business. So from that perspective, you just have to, at a certain point, I imagine you just have to really focus on those things that you're like, I have to get these things done. And these other things at this point, I can cut.
Yeah.
Bucket list.
That's exactly what that translates to.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Get your bucket list sorted.
Get those bucket lists sorted. Because I'm thinking about it's priorities, because what do you want from what you're creating? Do you want it in the hands of the audience, or do you want it to be like so perfect and this version of like what you envision that might never come out? I think it's two sides of the argument there. Like, would you rather see how it's received, or hold on to it knowing that you did 100% of the work on it?
Both. I want to do 100% on the work on it, and then I can't wait to see how it's received, good or bad. Because like I said, it's finished, and I did it my way. That's what every artist does. Whatever's edited after version, whatever, like version 1's mine.
Yeah, you've still got the.
This many copies, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I see it. It's like, no, I did my thing.
It's like when people get indie published versus traditional published, isn't it? They've always got the indie publish of how they wrote it and how it goes. True. And then when it gets taken traditional publishing, it gets edited, but people still read the indie version, love the indie version, however it goes. They've still got that. I did that. That was me. And it was so good that they traditionally published it instead. Like that sort of side of it.
Okay, so for my next question, when it comes to MacGuffins, how do you think, like, all right, let's flip it, like from the hero, do you feel an interesting way to flip this trope would be to attaching it to the villain, like we spoke about Voldemort, but what are some other ways you can attach the MacGuffin to the villain so it's a more direct conflict? We spoke about Goku and his is more like goal and information based, but how do we flip the trope to make it satisfying so it's not the worst part of the film or book?
That's a hard question, man.
Yeah, the only example I can think of is attaching it to a character is literally Kryptonite and Superman. That's the only example that comes to my mind right now. Like,
villains to the protagonists. Is that how you interpreted it? I like that.
Yeah, like it becomes
that item needs to stay far away from me, which is normally the opposite of the importance of the object. Normally the object is you need to get hold of this thing, and he's like, keep that far away from me as possible, please. So then that makes it the objective for the villain.
Oh,
they're like,
that's a really good answer.
And I'm gonna bring it to you.
Yeah, it always pops up every once in a while.
Yeah, like that's a really good answer, actually, because we spoke about how it works in Lord of the Rings where he's trying to destroy the ring. But what about if it's actually harmful to the protagonist? And then the villain's objective is going for that instead. So it's not even like a direct confrontation. It's in the hero's best interest or the protagonist's best interest to stop the villain for that reason, because they're going to get their hands on something that could directly impact them. That's a really good answer, Abby.
And I have an additional example that I thought of while Abby was saying just that, and it comes from the original, I don't know if it's mythology, whatever, but it's just the old story of the Midas touch, right?
Yeah.
Turn everything objects to gold. And so that right there, I mean, you turn your family into gold, you turn everything you touch into gold. Like, that is the epitome of getting everything you say you wanted. right?
Yeah. What do they...
And not being able to enjoy it.
You've just made me think of something else now. Like, what's the monkey paw, 3 wishes? But it comes with, so you can have it.
A cost.
Yeah, you have this thing, but it's not free. And I like that, like some sort of penalty attached to the item. So it's you bring the character's values to the front, where it's like, for example, one character might value fidelity in terms of like being loyal to their friends, and duty as well. So it's like, throw that in there. What are they going to choose? It's this information that shouldn't be revealed, or, for example, a scientist with a device that happened in real life, actually, like the Harper method, when they were using it, for agriculture, got turned into the A-bomb, that kind of thing, and all of a sudden it's the hottest thing for someone who is into mass murder and genocide. But it was created by a hero.
Got cogs turning. There was a film that we mentioned when we were doing the love triangle about the guy at the casino that was going to he was going to pay the husband to sleep with the wife.
The indecent proposal.
That's technically an object on multiple fronts.
Damn.
Because that turns her into an object, and you've also got the object of money.
Mm-hmm.
True.
His goal is to sleep with her, and his goal is, I want to keep my wife, but I also want the money. So it's...
Yeah.
How does this work?
So that's multiple MacGuffins at play there.
multiple objects that are involved, but obviously it is relevant. So it's the opposite of the trope.
Yeah.
Technically.
And that's another good answer. Add another one. Just keep throwing them in. They're just as important.
What about PN5?
Yeah, because again, what we want from a story, we want drama, we want conflict, we want contrasting values. So what's a better way than adding an equally important item? And I know you referred to there the wife turned into an object, and the money was also an object, but in the lens of the story they were equal because they were both needed for this transaction to take place. So I think that's another interesting way you can subvert the trope, by just adding multiple. There's moving parts and you're juggling different things. You're gonna
which one do you go for?
Yeah, the priorities come into play. Do you go
for the magic book, or do you go for the mystical gem?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, we're going to fall out because I'm going to vote gem and you're going to vote book.
How could you vote book?
Oh, it's a crime.
So you have them on the vote. Two equally good choices, I feel, is another way. And it's like, then the drama is what will they pick, rather than we know that's the cosmic cube. I keep hating on Marvel. I love Marvel, but these things they've just done so much.
The Tesseracts.
Yeah, that's it.
The Tesseracts.
Yeah, that's it. We see Loki, he gets his hands on it. Doesn't really do much with it. Everyone wants it. It seems we're waiting to see how powerful is this thing, what can it do? And then it's destroyed at one point. And we're like, oh, well. And then
can't have been that good then.
Yeah, but don't worry, we got gems.
Don't worry, we've come in with a brand new concept that you've never heard before.
Yeah, we got gems. Find the gems now. That's the mission. Forget about the cube. That's old news.
Yeah, we got these stones. They're really good.
And I'm not a Marvel hater, by the way.
You had them all this time, and you didn't even know. Exactly.
Yep,
you guys keep flirting with the topic of people's greed. That is what motivates a lot of these tropes into what it becomes, whether it be romance or financial gain or some type of enhancement.
Yeah.
Right? That's all based off of the protagonist and the antagonist's desires or need for whatever challenge.
And you brought up a good point, because when you brought up the point of the motivation, it doesn't have to be something physical. Not necessarily an item, because you can pursue it in the same way. Like we spoke about with the indecent proposal, where it's this strange transaction or something like that. It's not like black and white. There's contrast there. And I think when it's something non-physical, there's a number of ways it could be pursued. But in Goku's case, you're going to fight. You're going to get the thrills that way. But what you just said there about the goals and motivation, it kind of works as a slider. Like, how much do they want this thing? Do they kind of want it? Where it's like, yeah, they can live without it. Or are they willing to die over it? And then there's drama there. Like, what are they going to do? How far are they going to go for this? for example, Death Note.
Morals are also important.
Yeah, and
in things like that.
I was just going to mention,
morals.
You've both seen Death Note, right? Like, classic. Abby.
I'm
gonna get shot live on the podcast, guys.
Abby, please watch Death Note. If there's anything you do. But yeah, Notebook, you write someone's name in it, they die. Character gets it, he decides he's going to cleanse the world of all these criminals, and then it's the job of the authorities to find the book, find out who's doing this, because you're wiping out criminals, but this is still mass murder. We can't just allow someone to... And then, like you just said...
Not a high school kid. Certainly not.
Yeah, he's at high school as well while he's doing this.
He's basically an adult.
Yeah, he's getting rid of the criminals. War's down, crime's down, but we gotta find him.
In his town, by the way.
Yeah, he let himself.
Oh yeah, local serial killers have a ideal location.
Yeah.
Just because it's 20 minutes down the road, it can't physically be me. It's 20 minutes down the road. What would I go that close to home for?
But in that, the book becomes the thing. It's like, okay, now, what are you going to do? Would you allow someone who's a death row inmate to use this book to test what comes with it? Or are you just like, okay, with this student, some people didn't see him as a criminal, they worshipped him, and then it's on the authorities.
Well, it's your perception of crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what justice systems are for. Just because you think it's a criminal offence doesn't mean it is in law.
Well, this is the thing.
That's what...
Like
That's why all superheroes are taboo.
Criminal offence, but not by law.
Heroes cause millions of damage. They're flying into buildings. There's debris everywhere. We never see the cleanup. We never see. I
mean, they get those towns back together fast, don't they? Next film, brand spanking new village.
They
don't do that quickly round here.
The Hulk came through.
Money.
Taxpayers' money.
Crazy in the Marvel universe.
So, do you think they should tax heroes more? Is that what we're getting at?
Yes, they have it. You
got Iron Man.
But here's the thing. It's like, all right, a police officer shoots and it hits your car, a bullet hits your car, right? Who's paying for that? I honestly do not know. Is that, are you going to send the bill to the city?
Yeah.
Who's paying for this? Is it, you're telling me I got to go through my own insurance? I got to pay my own deductible? Ooh. No one's going to pay for that? I have to? Because my car is parked where it's literally always parked?
And then you become a villain because you're like, wait.
Now I'm the villain.
The system doesn't
I'm
work.
Just shooting people's cars.
Yeah.
Like, oops.
The system doesn't work. I've been through this. Now everyone's got to feel it.
I guess you got to file a claim. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you lost your no claims bonus.
For you.
And that's the origin story of the villain.
It's just that petty shit. If left unchecked, it's the small things. In my house, when big things happen, I'm calm, cool, collected. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Especially out of your control. It's like, all right, let me roll up my sleeves. Let me see where I can get in there, and figure it out. Small shit though. Oh my gosh, I'm like, who left that there? Because it molded overnight
3 times, and you still didn't take it out.
Oh,
that kind of thing. Yeah. It's like no, because these little small things over time add up to be one really big thing. But now it's not just one thing that's big; it's something that's big because all this other stuff. So they got thoughts for days as to why they're pissed at you.
That's it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's interesting because it's like road rage. Someone could have just had a breakup. Someone could have got fired. Like, there's a number of reasons why, but you just see this angry person in front of you, and you're like, "Do we have a problem?"
Yeah, I'm ready. You picked the right one today. That's how it works.
Yeah,
let's do this.
I knew you'd be with it. Like,
we're holding court today.
Yeah, but you bring up a good point there as well because it's perspective. It's like we don't see the behind the scenes. Maybe if you saw that, what led up to that, then maybe you're more sympathetic. So, like, as an author yourself as well, you've kind of got to find that balance of how much do I reveal about this character's motivations. Because, for example, a lot of people had a lot to say about Otis, but then you made it clear, like, okay, we're going to peel back some layers and they're going to figure out what's going on with him.
I was fan from Day Dot, guys.
Oh, really?
Don't forget that about me. Don't forget that about me.
Correct.
This is
correct, and I haven't. There's 2. You're one of them, so no, I haven't forgot at all.
Oh, yeah, like I'm all Ebro gang over here.
And you know what? I think that's I love the fact that we have so many non-fans of Otis because, like I said, he was intentionally created to be that role. Because one of my favorite character development, I guess trope is you start off hating that damn character.
The redemption.
And over time you're like, I like this guy now. He's grown up. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like now you're like, dude, the team needs him now. He's figured out where he lives in the team, and now he's doing his thing, and there's synergy now. And you're like, I didn't like you before.
Yeah.
But now you're great.
The redemption.
Everyone has that friend. Everyone has that friend in their group.
That's a fact.
We did not start off well. But
yes. Now, and then you figured out, I respect that, and then at some point you kind of, it melts away, like the distaste at first. But how did you so how did you handle that? How did you handle that in your book, like staying away from the obvious thing of, because again, we've got power systems, we've got items that do things, but how did you stay away from making that just a cliche where it's like, oh, this is a really important item, you see this, and then everyone's going for that? So what was your process?
You know what? I don't know what's important in my book. I think what's the most important item in my book is knowledge. And at the same time, it's it's also the most relevant. I was going to say irrelevant because, knowledge can't move or anything, right? It's everyone's pursuit. That's very common. So it's like, is that really relevant? That's everyone's pursuit. Everyone needs to get smarter. So that's what I meant by, is it relevant? But it is, because like that's the basis of this compound, is that you have to learn very specific things so you can survive. So if you don't learn, you won't survive. There won't be any more story if you don't learn. But how I kept it is that that's not, obtainable. You can only learn so much. And so really I focused it on, what do you want to learn? Everyone has their own thing. And for Marcos, it's easy. He's like, hey, well, it started out as, I want to learn where my brother is. But then someone kind of told him, he's like, I know where your brother is, but to get there, which I'll take you got to go through my program. And now you're like, all right, so now I'm in the military. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like that was not where I was going. I like that. I didn't want to go that way, but the knowledge behind what I was going to get at the end of my 10 years, you don't, and you think, oh, I didn't know, I didn't think it was 10 years. And no one ever does. But so it's the knowledge. It's like,
why would they tell you that? You wouldn't sign up if you knew that.
God, no. 10 years, you're like, well, 10 years would all be just 10 years older. It's, like,
yeah,
if you
decade,
make it,
fine.
Like, you could die. That's a lot of years to make it to 10.
Yeah, we got a ways to go, for sure.
Yeah. But you also heard that you'll be shooting, right? Or like you'll be in war.
Yeah, there'll be
trying to kill you.
There'll be casualties. There'll be trauma.
There'll be casualties. Not everyone's gonna make it to 10.
You got to last 10 years, by the way. It's not just you get out of jail free. You get to 10 years. Don't worry. It's actually you got to get there.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You actually have to survive. That's the one clause. You have to
knowledge,
make it.
Though.
Yeah, I like that, because the way you tied that in is, it's something where it's got mass appeal, which is why, again, as we've seen when we've had conversations, a wide variety of people can connect to the story, to the characters, because you've said knowledge is something where it's like it's more of a general motivation. So it's not like, oh, I don't like knowledge, so I don't care about this story. I don't want to learn. I hate learning.
No one ever.
Yeah, literally. So it's like the mass appeal comes from that. That's interesting. Because we were digging into that as well.
The origin is the survival instinct, which is literally wired in you by default. It's not a choice.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
That's the motivation for everyone, even though we're not consciously aware of it all the time, is to survive.
Yeah.
Fight or flight exists. So having that as an overarching concept is something that everyone can relate to.
Yeah.
It's literally nature. Like, you don't get to choose.
And as
that you get a survival instinct.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether you stick to your survival instinct or not is a different thing. But
but as Emma Remy just said, by tying it to knowledge, it's kind of like, some people might have that attitude like, oh, what? Like, I don't read books. Like, why would I read this book? It's about this historical thing, and they're not going to see past that. But because you've tied it to survival, it's like, oh, wait, I want to survive. knowledge is how I do that. Okay, I'm going to get some knowledge. So it's kind of like creating that chain there. I like that, and that's a good contrast. But again, the chapters are available at otp.ai. Just have to get that in there as well. And again, make sure in the comments you like leave any we missed out, any obvious ones in terms of the MacGuffins, because that's another thing as well. We can gloss over a few of them because some of them are so obvious. You know, we spoke about Bella numerous times. We have our favorites and the ones we don't like so much. But yeah, let us know in the comments as well if we're missing any glaring ones or just terrible things you've seen. Done poorly, start with done poorly.
And follow Curatorfied Studio on LinkedIn.